Hi guys, so for this I'm using yarn in size 4 medium and knitting needles in size 4 millimeters. So I'll start by leaving a medium size tail, then I'll make a slip knot. Now I'll cast on 2 needles just for a foundation row because I want my chains to be more loose. So now this slip stitch already counts as one stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And by the way, you can cast on any way you know how. Now with my left hand I'll hold this bottom needle, and with the right hand I'll pull this top needle. See how loose our chains are right now? So now for row 1 I'll turn my work around, then I'll knit the first 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. I'll purl the next 2 stitches. I'll knit the next 2 stitches. And you can also knit and purl any way you know how, it's totally fine. You'll still have the same results even if you use a different version of knitting and purling. Now I'll purl the next 2 stitches. Then I'll knit the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. So this completes row 1. Now for row 2 I'll turn my work around, and now as you can see here, the knitted stitches from my previous row look purled from this side, and that's totally normal. So now I will purl the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. I'll knit the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. Purl the next 2 stitches. Knit the next 2 stitches. And then we'll purl these last 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. So this completes row 2. Now for the pattern we need to repeat row 2 and 3, and this is just for the headband area. So I repeated row 2 and 3 until my work reached 20 inches. You can also just wrap this stripe around your head and see if it fits, then it's time to finish off. And now to finish off, I'll purl this first stitch, then I'll purl the next stitch. I'll insert my left needle through this first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. I'll purl the next stitch. I'll insert my left needle through this first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. Now I'll knit the next stitch. I'll insert my left needle through this first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. I'll knit the next stitch. I'll insert my left needle through this first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. I'll purl the next stitch. I'll insert my left needle through this first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. I'll purl the next stitch. I'll insert my left needle through this first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. Knit the next stitch. I'll insert my left needle through this first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. Knit the next stitch. I'll insert my left needle through this first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. I'll purl the next stitch. I'll insert my left needle through this first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. purl the next stitch. I insert my left needle through its first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. Purl the next stitch. I insert my left needle through its first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. Now that I have only one stitch left, I'll chain one and I'll leave a medium-sized tail and I'll cut this yarn. Now from a wrong side, I'll join these two sides together. Now we turn our headband inside out just like that. Now we need to do a second part of the hat. So right here, through this side stitches, I'll insert my hook. Then I insert my hook through his loop and pull through. Then I insert my hook through his next chain, wrap the yarn on the hook and pull through. I insert my hook through his next chain, wrap the yarn on the hook and pull through. I insert my hook through his next chain, wrap the yarn on the hook and pull through. This is supposed to be done on the knitting needles, but I find it much easier to pull the stitches out with the crochet hook at this part. So we repeat this until we have 71 stitch in total. In some places you will have one stitch, in some places two, but at the end of this first row we need to have 71 stitches. And then for row 1 I'll knit 3, 1, 2 and 3. Then I'll purl 3, 1, 2 and 3, knit 3, and purl 3. So we continue knitting 3 and purling 3 throughout row 1. And then for row 2 and 3 we repeat row 1. So for 3 rows we will knit 3 and purl 3, knit 3 and purl 3 until we have 3 rows in total. So now that we have 3 rows of knit 3 and purl 3, for row 4 yarn over, then I'll knit these next 3 stitches together. Yarn over, then I'll purl the next 3 stitches one by one. So 1, 2 and 3. Yarn over, knit the next 3 stitches together. Yarn over, purl the next 3 stitches. 1, 2 and 3. Yarn over, knit the next 3 stitches together. So the stitches that we are knitting together are the 3 knitted stitches from previous row. Yarn over, purl the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2 and 3. Yarn over, knit the next 3 stitches together. Yarn over, purl the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2 and 3. So we repeat this throughout row 4. So this completes row 4. Now for row 5 we repeat row 1. So I'll knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll purl 3. knit 3, then purl 3, 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 so we repeat this throughout row 5. Now for row 6 we repeat row 2, so we knit 3 again, then we purl 3, knit 3, then purl 3, knit 3, then purl 3, so we repeat this throughout row 6. We just knit 3, then purl 3. So this completes row 6. Now for row 7 I'll repeat row 3, so I will knit 3, then purl 3, knit 3, then purl 3, knit 3, purl 3, knit 3, then purl 3. So I will repeat this throughout row 7. We'll knit 3 and purl 3. So this completes row 7. Now for row 8 we repeat row 4, so yarn over, knit the next 3 stitches together. Yarn over, purl the next 3 stitches. Yarn over, knit the next 3 stitches together. Yarn over, purl the next 3 stitches. Yarn over, knit the next 3 stitches together. Yarn over, purl the next 3 stitches. So we repeat this throughout row 8. So for 3 rows we have knit 3, purl 3, knit 3, purl 3. Then for the 4th row we have yarn over, knit the 3 knitted stitches together, yarn over, purl 3, yarn over, knit 3 together, yarn over, purl 3, yarn over, knit 3 together, yarn over and purl 3. So that is our pattern. We need to repeat the rows 4 through 8 for the pattern. So we repeat this until our work measures 7 inches. And now it's time to decrease and close this loop. So for the next row we start by knitting 2 together, knit 2 together, knit 2 together, knit 2 together. So we'll continue knitting 2 together throughout this row. So now that we have finished the first row of decreases, For the second row of decreases, we will knit 2 together again, knit 2 together, knit 2 together, knit 2 together, knit 2 together. So we continue knitting 2 together throughout this row. Now that you have finished the second row of decreases, again for the third row of decreases, I'll knit 2 together, knit 2 together, knit 2 together, knit 2 together. So we'll continue knitting 2 together throughout this third row of decreases. Now at this point I cannot work anymore with the circular knitting needles, so I'll switch to double pointed needles. Knit 2 together. So we'll continue decreasing for every row until we have less than 10 stitches on our needles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now that we have 10 stitches in our needles, I'll just leave a medium size tail, but it's quite long. And then with the yarn needle, I'll close this loop. So we can just insert this needle through these stitches. This is how this finished hat looks. It's around 7.5 inches long and around 9.5 inches wide. This part right here is very stretchy. Actually, all of it is really stretchy, so it will definitely fit. This is all for today, guys. I hope you like this video and thank you so much for watching.